Greetings and welcome to another video. It's Monday, 13th of August 2018, and our starting point today is Bucketry Hall Hotel. It's right here, and that's the look of the entrance down there. It's a really nice place. I've never stopped in one of the rooms here, but I have once or twice been into the bar area, and it's a nice little bar. So just going to show you over here for a moment. Some farmer's field, we're not going to go in of course, but to give you some indication, the views you can see over here. So it's all pretty nice. And this road here takes you into Wellington and toward a road called the Holyhead Road, which takes you into Shrewsbury and all that, but that way takes you into Wellington, but we're not going to go that way. Instead we're going to go this way, because today we're going to climb the Wrekin, and from Bucketry Hall, to get to the Wrekin, you got to go this way, along this road. So yeah, we're going to skip ahead. Just a few yards away from the Bucketry Hotel is here, Wrekin Nature Reserve, the Wrekin Forest Trails, and you've got a map talking about various routes you can take on the nature walk. And it's basically up through that way. I'm not going to go that way at the moment because that's not the point of this video, but probably will make another video about that. And to begin with, just here you got some beautiful little artwork. I love stuff like this. It's very amazing. I would consider woodwork like this to be proper artwork. Anyway, let's move on to the point of this video, and we're going to walk on along this road. It's not far to get to the Wrekin, only a couple of 100 yards or so. Let's get on with it. So we're just approaching the start of today's journey. And looks like gonna have some really good weather for it, which I'm grateful for. Right, so just to say again, back that way takes you past where we start, the Bucketry Hotel, and it takes you into Wellington and the Holyhead Road, which is an important road connecting Wellington to Shrewsbury and a few other places as well. So, yep, that's where we've come from. And it's about 1 3/4 miles in that direction. Right, the Huntsman Inn in this direction, along this road here. It's in a little one lock. Really nice place there. It's just there. We've got a car park. See, if you get in here by car, you got somewhere to park up. Yeah, but that way takes you to Little Wenlock, which is a beautiful little village, and they've got a pub up there called the Huntsman. It's a really nice place. We're going to go this way. This road in front of you will lead you eventually to Shrewsbury, which is 10.5 miles in that direction. But we're not going to go that way, are we? Instead, this is the entrance to Wrekin. So yeah, let's crack on with it, shall we? I remember a few years ago, we had some snow over one Christmas a few years ago, and well, every Boxing Day is a big local tradition where families get together, come to Awaken and climb to the top of Awaken. Big local tradition. I mean, obviously you can do it every day of every year, but seems most popular thing to do at Boxing Day. Anyway, as I said, this one year everywhere was covered with snow, and I had the clever idea of climbing the Wrekin this one Boxing Day, even despite all the snow. And I was walking up this section of path here, just further along I was, and I saw the funniest thing in the world. Some lad coming back down the hill, like back going that way and everything. He was doing it on a unicycle. So I don't know how well you can tell how steep this hill is, but coming down here on a good day on a unicycle is a questionable idea. But to do it while everywhere is covered in snow, I thought it was the craziest thing in the world. I mean, I respected the guy for doing it, but yeah. And couldn't help but thinking, how the hell was that guy intending to stop safely and all that? But anyway, kept on walking, and a few other people started walking down, and I assume these people were first guy's mates. But yeah, that image is always going to be stuck in my head. Wrekin covered in snow, and a guy coming down it on a unicycle. Absolutely amazing. Right, that's the path behind us. At this stage of the Wrekin climb, admittedly there isn't much to see, aside from what's immediately around us, like the path, the trees. I think we're fine. But, well, there is a lot to see because of what's immediately around us. That can be really interesting and fascinating. But to see some of the real sights of the Wrekin and the surrounding area, then that's further up the top. But whatever stage of the Wrekin climb you're at, it's always a beautiful thing to do. I should really climb it more. I should really climb it more often. Not only because of what I just said, but also it's a fantastic form of exercise. And I'll be honest, I do need to exercise a lot more. So. I'll skip ahead at this point. At this point onwards, well, at this point, we've basically completed the easy part of the climb. And in a moment, things are going to get a bit more steep in the climb. Right, that path in front of us eventually takes you a walk all the way around the edge of the Wrekin. The gradient, I've walked that path once before, years ago. The gradient is pretty even, pretty level, not too bad. It's a good walk. Probably do it later or another time, but either way, we're not going that way. We're going this way. Because this is where things get really fun. And it's going to be a good time situation up here. And just at the top of this section here is really interesting landmark, which we'll just skip ahead to, but it's really good. Yeah, I should say that if you've never climbed a Wrekin before, it's at this point onwards the path gets a bit more tricky and rocky, so you should always be very careful of your footing. Mind your step, because this point onwards some of the path does get rather uneven, and yeah, so be very careful. But that said, climbing the Wrekin is definitely one of the best experiences in the world. And we're just coming up to a landmark here, which is important. You can see it right there. Just skip ahead. This is the halfway house, where people coming up and down the Wrekin can stop for a few minutes for a cup of tea, refreshments. And over there they have a nice seating area, beautiful seating area, where you can see some really gorgeous sights and overview the Wrekin. But yeah, well, they're closed at the moment, so we can't go in for anything, which is fine. But if you're lucky enough to be here when it's open, definitely worth stopping. But anyway, carrying on this way, skipping ahead a bit. So, carrying on. This path here is like the easy path up. There's another path up that way which is a bit more steep and a bit more hardcore to go up. But we'll stick to this path at the moment, keep things nice and easy. And that's the halfway house behind us. It'll be around the next couple of corners or so that we'll start be able to see some of the more beautiful sights and everything else. So just around these corners and everything. So yeah, just gonna skip ahead. You can take that path back down, but that may be a bit more of a uneven path. So as I said earlier, if you're not too sure about your footing, stick to this path we've just climbed up that we've just seen. But if you're a bit more adventurous, go with that one. But we're heading all the way up this way. So obviously we're further along the path, and whenever you climb a Wrekin on the way up, it's this point onwards things become far more interesting. Both in the way of the paths you have to walk, and also your surroundings. They become far more interesting and far more fun as well. Favourite part of climbing the Wrekin, this bit. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just making a video diary. Yeah. Yeah, it's at this point onwards you can start seeing some of the more beautiful sights that surround the Wrekin. So yeah. That is beautiful. Of course, the sights get better. Much better. Further up you go. I mean, we're really muggy at the moment. No, it's good weather. Weather's been good today so far. That said, well, it looks like those clouds. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts raining at some point. It's really beautiful up here. Absolutely amazing. Let's get to that spot over there, shall we? Yes. So just got here. The Wrekin Hill Fort. The Wrekin was possibly first settled in the Neolithic or Bronze Age, but the visible defences are between 2000 and 2500 years old and date from the Iron Age. It stands out among over 50 such sites in Shropshire and is likely to have been tribal capital of the Cornovi. It comprises of an inner enclosure encircling the summit and an outer defences enclosing the lower slopes. Its fortifications point clearly to defence, but it probably served a range of functions such as tribal meeting place and or ritual centre. It seems to have been abandoned, perhaps taken by force, around the time of the Roman conquest, and there is no archaeological evidence for later reoccupation. The Wrekin Hill Fort is a scheduled ancient monument. Please protect it for future generations. And as you can see, there's a map of how archaeologists believe the site looked like back in the day. It's beautiful, that is. And here, Raby Estate, private woodlands. Keep to the public permissive waymarked paths. Keep dogs under close control. Deer stalking may be in progress. No cyclists unless by agreement. No fires allowed. Please take your litter home. Yeah, that last point is especially important. The amount of times I've climbed a Wrekin and seen litter of one kind or another, which is annoying. It ruins the fun for everyone who comes here. If you're going to bring snacks and drinks for the journey up and down the Wrekin, fine, no problem. But if doing so produces a litter, please just take your litter home. It's not hard, it's a simple, polite request, take your litter home. Because if you just dump it somewhere, you're spoiling the fun for yourself and everyone else who comes here. So yeah, very annoying. So yeah, just gonna skip ahead, but it's still a beautiful walk up here, very beautiful walk. Bit of a steep section this, But if you stick to this little bit of rough path here, it'll be easier to keep you balanced and get up. So yeah, beautiful, just beautiful. Not far from the top now, almost there. It's going to be a good time situation. Right, it's at this point onwards things start to flatten out a bit, and of course we start to get above the tree line, and it's at this point onwards you get to see more of the views that surround the Wrekin. And I tell you this, it's absolutely stunningly beautiful up here. So at this point onwards you can afford to take your time a bit more, be a bit more leisurely about climbing the Wrekin, so you can truly appreciate the sights that surround you. And it is beautiful up here, absolutely gorgeous. Let's carry on this way. It's absolutely beautiful up here. So that's where we're heading now, just up through there, and those two little mounds mark the final hurdle before getting to the top. There's a little path there which I think goes around the mounds, but I've never used it. Much prefer doing it properly at this point onwards and going up this way. Here we are, top of the Wrekin. Gorgeous up here. Toposcope designed by Ontarian Jerry Powell in 1977.